When I just started sales, I probably don't look like that. I probably don't speak like that. I'm probably at 10% of where I am, but I still close well. Why? I think a lot of salespeople always question themselves. A common objection that comes saying that, oh, I need to think about it. Let me mull over what you have suggested, and maybe I'll talk to my partner, and then I'll come back and revert back to you, which maybe take a few weeks or it never comes back, right? So I'm believing anybody who's watching this right now, if you're a salesperson, you get what I mean. But now the first thing that you should actually do as a salesperson is to state your agenda. Hey, you know what? I'm highly sought after in the industry. If you're here to talk to me, it must mean that you're serious and committed. If you're not serious about taking your business to the next level, you shouldn't be talking to me. All right? So the purpose of this entire conversation is to actually identify and see if you're actually someone that I can help, whether it's in terms of the product or services that I'm rendering. And if I can help you, you will need to make a decision by, let's say, for example, today, or if it's a very big deal, maybe by end of this week, for example. So we want to take control right from the start, rather than letting the conversation free flow. And normally when you let the conversation go free flow, you never get the sale. Yeah.
I wanted to follow up with that in terms of, earlier you mentioned that, so this wasn't part of the questions I was going to ask, but about how you want to frame people. And that, you know, okay, so today if you're on a call with me, you know, it's about how I can help you. And you set a frame. You mentioned about you're highly sought after, and therefore you don't jump on a call with everybody, right? So if they are in a call, it means that they want to achieve something. So I think one of the things that I get a lot from teachings like that is that people will say, what if I'm not an expert? What if I'm not a highly sought after yet? So how then do they frame their audience, and how do they dance with the audience?
Okay, great. So for example, before I get to where I am today, one of the typical questions that people would say that, oh, you look like you're quite young, or you look like, you know, you're just starting out. Why should I work with you? You know, typically prospect like to challenge you. Why should I work with you? So here's one tip to refocus them to actually be really interested in taking the deal with you. Say this, saying that, are you looking for results or are you looking for experience? Definitely, what would they say? They would say results. Okay, great. If you're talking about results, you're talking to the right person. Okay, if I deliver the results that I have stated in terms of aligning your expectation to that I'm supposed to achieve for you, maybe you can do some refund, or you can do some saying that, okay, I'll extend my time of working with you, for example. But you need to deliver a promise. One of the things that I teach my closers or salespeople or business owners that I am coaching is that you must be confident in what you offer, and it must be a good offer. So it brings out a natural conviction. You cannot sell what you don't have, right? But you must sell fervently with conviction on what you know you have. Right? You're more hardworking than other people, you know more stats than other people, or you have closed more, you have served the niche clients that you are serving. You talk about niche, right? You have served the niche clients that you have served that maybe other people don't speak to that niche, but you speak to that niche really, really well. Those are track records. I think people are blinded by the fact that they need to be the top, but what is exactly the top? There's never the top. Like, what exactly is an expert? An expert is just someone who is ahead of someone who is not as ahead of you. Right? So you need to find the right audience, which is what you probably share with them as well. Yeah.
Someone asked, how do you follow up or revive an old lead?
Okay, how do you follow and revive an old lead?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is slightly more like a marketing question, but I want to ask you maybe in terms of like, maybe when you call them and things like that, how do you actually like, you know, rebuild the relationship again?
Old lead, right? So the old, is it a lost sale, or is it a more for like more sales? Is it to increase the lifetime value of the user, or is it like?
Good question. I think maybe in this context, because someone asked this question, I think it's Hui Qing asked this question. So maybe you want to clarify, but I have a feeling it's more like, in this context, it's maybe more like old leads, lost sales.
Lost sales. Okay. So one of the things I'm going to share with you guys a lot of counter-intuitive move that is very strategic. My answer to this is don't sweat over it. Those people who are lost sales, they are lost sales. If they have unfortunately lost certain faith in you, or you have done it wrongly, it's very hard for you to work hard on these sales again. So then my question is, it's actually easier for you to gain a new lead than to revive an old lead. So your focus should be gaining a new lead, which means, I mean, Gabriel is perfect when you talk about lead generation and marketing. So he's the authority on that. Yeah, but that's what I would do. I would not even care about the old lead. Like I can tell you, let me share some stats, okay? Oh, maybe 100 calls that you have, right? 50% of them are not going to pick up your call no matter what. Maybe the weather is the problem, maybe skepticism is the problem, maybe anything is the problem. They just won't pick up your phone. And if you keep calling these 50% that will not pick up your phone no matter what, you're wasting your time. And one of the principles as a salesperson is don't waste your time. That is why I share with my closers. A lot of things that I share with my closers privately are the things that have got them to close over 6-figure or minimum individually on any gigs that they actually go to. So really need to follow on this. Then, yeah, I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, I think I agree as well. Like I don't usually dwell on old leads because it's easier to just get new leads who are hot and fresh. But if I can answer it from a standpoint, build your email list, right? So if your old list should be in your email, and what you want to do is you don't want to, because when you do like one-on-one sales call or when you try to follow up with them by texting, you're actually wasting a lot of time because that time could have been spent somewhere else. There's no leverage. But if that lost lead is part, let's say I have a lot of lost lead and they are part of my email list, right? All I need to just send one email and reach out to all of them, right? So there's leverage. I won't do anything that's a bit more one-on-one or things that will take up too much of my time. Yeah, Shannon, you were saying?
You want to spend minimal effort on these old leads that already rejected you. And if they do revive and becomes a new lead, it's a bonus for you. Because it's easier for you to extend the lifetime value of your current clients than to revive an old lead that you can't close or you have not closed or failed at closing. This is the sets. I've tried everything before. Yeah.
So in terms of like email wise, there is a framework called Revival Framework. Now it's not guaranteed, right? Again, like you have to make sure that you have enough people. So let's say you have 1,000 people. If you do a revival email sequence, you should be able to bring back some potential sales that will want to get on a call with you or something like that. But again, I won't sweat on it. I will only jump on a call on people who wants to get on a call with me. Make sense?
Yeah.
So regarding the revival email sequence, if I go and touch on that, right, it will take another 1 hour. So I think I'll probably have to do another training on that in the future. Okay. So I hope that answered your question, Hui Xing, and thank you, Shannon, for your answer as well. So you mentioned that don't offer what you don't have, right? And there's a lot of like salespeople, they want to pretend to be an expert because there's this saying like, fake it till you make it. What are your views on that?
Okay. So first of all, the things that I share with my closers are, some people say that it's highly persuasive. And because it's so highly persuasive and dangerous, I only actually train closers or salespeople that has high integrity in selling good offers. The day that, honestly, if I know of anybody who has a lack of integrity and selling a bad offer, I will never teach or even work with that person. This is my standpoint. Not every salespeople are like that, which is why the clients that work with me, I'm very, very, very selective about it. But now then the second thing is about fake it till you make it. Well, that to a certain degree, that is very true. Like for example, 7 years ago when I just started sales, I probably don't look like that. I probably don't speak like that. I probably don't know as much knowledge that I have now. I'm probably at 10% of where I am, but I still close well. Why? Because I'm confident of myself. The core confidence that you will work harder than anyone, you will serve better than anyone, you will go 110% for your clients. And this is the conviction that people want, because people don't buy products or services. People buy people. At the end of the day, people don't buy products or services. Think about insurance, right? There's insurance everywhere. You throw one stone, there is like 20 financial advisors or more around you that are financial advisors. But here's the thing. When you finally settle down on one financial advisor or property agent, why? It's always, always, always the person. You pick a business partner, it's the person. Everything is person focused as much as a lot of technology is around. But the trust that people have is not based on, to a certain degree, it's based on their experience, but more about your conviction and dedication. If you can sell that even if you had nothing much yet, that's what customers buy. Yeah.
Love it. Thanks for sharing that. I want to take it slightly to a different direction. So